Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jen and I'm from adventureswithjen.com, a travel blog that shares budget-friendly travel guides and inspiration for across Europe. So I usually plan my trips, or our trips rather, because I travel with my husband Alex. Yeah. So I usually plan all our itinerary using Google My Maps. I don't know if many people know how to do or use Google My Maps to create itineraries for your trips. I can assume that most of us travelers from my Instagram, hello guys, probably know, but in case any of you guys doesn't know, I thought of hopping on here quickly to show you how I create travel itineraries using Google My Maps. And for the sake of this video, I'm going to demonstrate a recent trip that we did during the winter, which was to Lisbon. I'm gonna link and show you, walk you through how I planned the trip to Lisbon. And I'll also leave the free Google My Map itinerary for Lisbon that you can always use for your trips, for you to download down in the description if you are interested. So I'm gonna switch my attention to my computer to just walk you through how exactly I plan our trips using Google My Maps. So let's dive into it. I was going to walk you in. So right now, as you can see, this is like just the dashboard of Google My Maps. And I just want to point out as well that it's not Google Maps. So when you go onto Google, for example, you have to make sure you are typing Google My Maps, not Google Maps. And it's always the first in the search result, and you click on there. As you can see, because I'm already logged in, it's bringing me to all my Google My Maps. And this is just like an overview of the dashboard of how it looks. It will contain all the maps that you have ever created in the past or you have opened. And like, for example, as a travel blogger, when I'm researching about trips and destinations, sometimes I come across maps from other bloggers' articles. And if I click on them or I download their map, it will all come onto my Google My Maps. But of course, sometimes based on their access, I will not have, I won't edit and all those sort of things just for security. You can, but I can see, like, for example, or if I go under all tab, I have all the maps that I have ever come across whilst I'm researching any trips. Like, for example, this Madrid trip is not mine, but we intend to travel to Madrid soon, not necessarily soon, but for the future. So I had found an article where someone had done a map of all the important things that you can see and places you can visit, including food and all that. So I found it quite useful. And I just leave it here. When the time comes, I'll come back to it. And and all of these on this top nav, they are just self-explanatory. Like, for example, the ones that you own, like, for example, all these are mine, previous and the future trips. And the ones that I want to draw our attention to is this one, the Lisbon 3 days itinerary and all that. So if you have never used Google My Maps, to be able to, let me just tick this because I unticked so that they show on the map. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna just demonstrate using just this layer to show you how to create this. So if I zoom, you can't see now, but if I zoom my map, all these items or layers I have on my maps, they are all here for you to use or navigate around your visits to Lisbon. So now I'm going to show you how to create this if you have never done anything like this. And by the way, this is the map I'm saying I have included it in the description for you to download if you're ever visiting Lisbon and you would like to have an itinerary done for you. It's quite easy. I have done it for you. All you have to do is to just grab your copy and you can use it to plan your trip if you want. I've left the link in the description for you to download the same map which has everything. So I'm going to just show you how to do it. So we'll go back to Google My Maps and let me just switch these tabs. If you are creating for the first time, so you are going to click on here, click a new map. And by the way, it's connected to everything Google. You know how Google is. it's connected to your Google Drive. You just click create. All right. And when you do this, this will pop up. So basically, this is how it looks before it's like this, like the way mine is, which is already complete. When you are starting to plan your trip using Google My Maps, it looks like this. Until you input all these things that I did, that's when you will be able to see it on the map and that. So I'm just going to demonstrate using the same Lisbon because I'm not going to do everything because, like I said, I've done everything for you if you are interested to have a look and use it for your trip. I'm just going to do the first part to show you how I created this so that you know how it's done. So the first thing you're going to do, you're going to rename this. You have to give your map a name, right? So you just click on here on this menu, and then on here, sorry, oh my God, you have to just double click on here and this will pop up. So you have to give your map a name. In this example, I'm just going to use Lisbon, 3 days. Oops, 3 days itinerary. Okay, and then you can give it a description. A description is basically this. For example, on mine, if I click here, I've given it a description. This is a list of reliable, actually proven itineraries. Everything I've listed on this map is something that we have actually done on our trip. So you must know that I'm telling you things that I've actually experienced, if that makes sense. So I've just given it a description of what it is, and and that's it. So this is what it means. You can write whatever you want to write based on the destination. So that's what this description means. You can just put whatever, and then you click save. So you will notice that as soon as you save, this will change. And for the purpose of this, let me just remove this so that doesn't confuse. This is the map. You have created your map. And then to start creating these sections like breakfast, landmarks, and then give it all these things. This is what you do. I hope you are following, and my explanation are quite easy. So you come here, there are things that are called layers. Layers, I honestly don't know how to explain it in simple English. These layers are basically, you can think of them as sections to separate your trips or to create the itinerary for your trip or whatever, So if you click here on, already by default, there is one layer which is already done once you create this. So you can always start with this one by renaming it. You just click on these three dots here and you rename this. So for the sake of this video, I'm going to do like the first part here. These breakfast places, I can say places to eat for breakfast, you name it. Places to go for breakfast. So by the way, you must create this, at least for me, in my case, I start creating and putting down things on a Google My Map once I've done my research. Or sometimes I could be researching, and then if I found something I like, I put it down, or I found maybe a recommendation of a restaurant or a landmark that I would like to see, I put it down. So it doesn't have to be done. It's just you have to do it based on how you plan your trips, if that makes sense. So, for example, we create the places to go or visit for breakfast. So this layer or section is going to include all the places that you want to go and try for breakfast, if that makes sense. You can have this, and then you can add many layers. So for example, I'm gonna add also like maybe transport, because it starts from there. Like, what are you using for transport? Like if you are getting there by air, by flight or train or whatever. So you have to put like transport. You put a layer for transport, and then you list the name of the station or the airport or whatever means you are getting by on the map, if that makes sense. And then you can add another layer for accommodation, and then you just give this as hotel. And there we go. And then we have Like, let me just create another layer for like maybe things to do. Things to do. Places to visit. Places to visit in Lisbon. There we go. So we have all these layers, and by default, if you notice, they are already checked. So as you can see, the map of Lisbon is not showing up right now. We haven't pull it down. You can do that if you want. You can just say search here, Lisbon. And it will bring up the Lisbon on the map, as you can see here. This is the main city. And if you want, you can add this to the map, you know? But because Lisbon is the city that we are planning a trip for, this is irrelevant, so you don't need to do this. I'm just gonna delete this. But instead, we are going to start searching stations. Like, for example, when we visited on this trip, we came from Porto by train. So, and you can check from your tickets which train station are you going to arrive in. So in this case, it was called Oriente. This is the main station. And as you can see, once you search it, okay, sorry, I made a mistake. Let me undo this and tick some things so that it doesn't go to the different sections. So if you don't want whatever item you want to put on the map to be on the wrong section, you have to uncheck them. So I'm just gonna leave transport because this is where we put the train station or airport name or whatever. I'm going to untick all these sections so that I don't confuse or put things in the wrong section, if that makes sense. So we are focused, the transport section is ticked on. And like I said, we visited from Porto using by train. So we arrived into Oriente Station. There you go. That is the metro station. So once you type it in there, it will bring it up on the map, and you can customize this map actually. But before you do that, you have to add it to the transport map. We add this. As can you see that it has been added on the transport section? And if you want to like give it color and customize this, you can do that. And you come here on this icon which says style, and you can even change. So because it's a train, you can search icon. So I am going to search train. So these are the icons that are coming up by train. It doesn't matter. You just click train, this, and then there you go. As you can see, it has changed on here, right? It's not really important, but it's quite makes it more visually appealing, at least to me. I'm a visual person. I like to know, okay, I'm live in a train station, so a train icon should show there. And if you want, you can give it a color that you want. All these colors are here. I normally like to use this color because it's the one which I have on my blog. And that's it. Basically, you have added the, and if you want as well, you can add more details here. Like for example, the time of arrival, which platform you can put time, the time you are getting to the station and which platform and all those things. This is just quite helpful. For example, when you get to a destination, you're so tired, you don't know how to navigate and all that. It's just quite useful, at least in my case. So you can put that, but it's okay. We're leaving it like this. And then that's it. We are done with the trans. And if you can see, if I zoom, it's already showing on the map of Lisbon. This is the Oriente, Lisboa Oriente station. It's already there, done. So we are moving on now to like you can do the same for your hotel. If you are staying at a hotel or the name of the accommodation, you do the same. You just search it on here and do what we did on the first place. So now we are going to move on these places to eat, like from this map, from mine. For example, I'm going to demonstrate one for food and one for landmarks and stuff like that so that you can see. So we are going to type in here, dear breakfast. And you notice because it's Google Maps, it's a Google Map feature, I believe. So it pulls up many, if a place has different locations, like in this case, Dear Breakfast in Lisbon, this place have many locations. It brings up different ones. In our case, we visited to this one, Kiado location. So this is the one I'm gonna click. I'm not gonna click the rest of this because I haven't been. We went to the Kiado one, and this is the one you click so that it gives you the correct location. You see, it pops up and it also gives you the details on Google Maps where it is and the website. It pulls up this automatically, which is also quite useful when you're planning a trip and you don't, especially if you're traveling by yourself. I think this is quite useful. And then you don't forget to add it to the map for it to appear here. And again, the same thing, you come to style. Because it's food, you can change the icon. I normally like to use this for food. And you can see it has changed over here. And just give it a color, like I love this color, for example. It doesn't matter, you can choose whichever color you like. And this will keep adding to this map. Like, can you see? And you see, I have it here. It's over here. It keeps showing up here. So this is how they populate. Like if just try to think of it like this, if you put all the items or points of interest for your trip, they will all show on this map. So that's how you use this map. It's actually very easy. And if you want to use it like on your phone, I will it's quite easy. I'm going to try to see if I can record for you and put a screenshot on how you can actually use this Google Map when you are like actually on the trip. So there you go, guys. I hope it was easy to follow and you understand. And if you have any question on how to create or I didn't explain well, just do leave the comments in the description. I'll try to remake and explain better in the next one. I hope that was helpful. And tell me if you have ever used Google My Map to plan your trips and how have you found it? Like, is it useful for you? Is it complicated? Just let me know in the comments below. It's quite easy. I like it because you can also add on the go. Like, for example, if I said on this, I have listed local restaurants here to try, and I don't like any of them, or something for some reason, like it's closed or something like that, you can always edit it on the go, like using your phone. I'm gonna try if I can pull up how it looks on the phone. And that's basically it, guys. It's quite easy, very easy. It will always be there. And us as travel bloggers, sometimes you can share it. Like I have shared with you guys. I've made it so easy. If you're planning a trip, you don't have to go through. I've been to Lisbon 3 times and I have just put down things that I think are point of interest, and this is quite useful for someone traveling for the first time to Lisbon. Things that you need to see, viewpoints which are nicer, and all those things. It's quite easy. So you can always grab this, and I've left it in the description, like I said. All right, see you in the next video.